It's Tamra, the Judeo-Christian medium. I just realized how tired I look. I was just getting ready to go to bed, and Spirit really wanted me to come on and talk to you all. The energy right now is very intense. It's very late, so I don't know if anyone will be watching this now. Maybe you'll be watching this at another time. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm very tired. I was just getting ready for bed, and Spirit wanted me to come on. As many of you know, um, back in 2020, when I did the predictions for 2021, I talked about crime in the cities. I talked about a lot of the division. I mentioned explosions and, I did talk a lot about crime. So the reason I'm coming on tonight is many of you know this week in New York, there was the funeral for fallen officer Rivera, and tomorrow is Officer Maya's funeral. Now, these are two young Dominican officers who were ambushed. They were called for a domestic dispute, and they were ambushed and murdered. Officer Rivera was murdered execution style. So Spirit's saying that that was planned, and it is gang related, and they wanted me to go back, and a lot of you have requested that I make connections between videos I've made before and what's happening now, and sort of bridge that gap. So they had told me in 2020 for the 2021 year that there would be lots of ambushes and explosions, fires. And so the reason I'm coming on tonight is just to show you how this has manifested. And those two officers were ambushed. So the result of that is the police have formed, Spirit saying that they have countrywide are forming systems to fight crime. And one of the systems will be when there's a crime, they are all going to alert each other. So say like in a city like New York, what they're going to do is sort of shut down the traffic. So, like New York has 5 boroughs. So say like they hear of a crime, they're all going to relate to each other where the crime was, and they're going to stop the traffic going in and out of the city, because that's how, people are escaping. So they're really forming like these plans, but also Spirit is saying the gangs are forming these plans, and so they just really want you to be careful. I don't know exactly for how long, but this week is going to be really bad with the funerals of these two officers. It's coming, everything is coming to a head. And I also had predicted in 2024, 2021, but now it's going into 2022, lots of explosions, transformer explosions, fires, and Spirit's telling me that tomorrow at the funeral for Officer Maya, right now there is an energy, there is a plan. I hate to say that, it just sounds so scary, but there is a plan for an explosion, and a lot of explosions that we've been seeing, they have been called something else that they haven't, the news, the authorities, they haven't quite figured this out yet, but they're starting to. Especially so in the cities, they're saying that many, excuse me, it's very dry here. Many criminals are throwing explosions, and like especially fireworks. There's throwing fireworks into like maintenance holes, and so we're having like all these maintenance hole fires, electrical fires, and they're being made to look like it's something else. It's just an accident. But it's just been happening so much. So things are just coming to a head. And I just really wanted to come on and make those connections, because I don't know if you all remember the video I made in December of 2020 where I was talking about 2021 and I kept seeing ambush, ambush. So that's where the ambush is coming in, and yes, they are, gang members are drawing police in by committing other crimes or having a domestic dispute or having a fight, bringing the police in and then ambushing them. And we've seen a lot of ambushing. We've seen it just with cops off duty, and Spirit is saying they are being targeted, that gang members know who they are and where they hang out, and so the cops, the police are becoming aware of this, and we had an officer who was just sleeping in his car. He was ambushed, but okay, yes, Spirit's saying this week is going to be a very bad week in the cities. It could be, outside of the cities too, of just, I just hate to say this, it's so dramatic, but just, this will be more for a purpose of violence than just robbery, but like slashings and, just shooting people. So it's going to be more of personal attacks, and it's retaliation for everything that's happening. And Spirit's saying a lot of this is organized. So I hate to be a fearmonger. That was not my intention when I started this channel. At all. I was doing tarot for sun signs, focusing on personal growth, but this is just how this has happened. And I actually had a negative comment saying that I sounded like Fox News, and I found that to be shocking, but then I can understand that because I started myself getting in my algorithm, like seeing Fox News stories. So then I started watching them, and I totally understand why someone would think that. But Spirit is saying, both sides, the Republicans and the Democrats, both sides in general, the parties have valid points and valid concerns that they're working on. So sometimes the Democrats are going to seem more correct. Well, right now, since you want to think of this, there is that I don't know if it's Maslow. It's like this hierarchy of needs. Well, right now it's like a pyramid where on the top of the pyramid is I can't remember. I'm so tired, but it's the personal growth and if someone knows what I'm talking about, self-actualization. At the bottom, we have our physical needs. Well, the Republicans are very into like safety and protection and stuff like that. So that's what's happening right now. So for me to talk about that, I can understand how people would think that, I sound like Fox News, but, that's just what's happening right now. Since I've been really connecting to spirit, they pretty much cherry pick. They cherry pick certain, like many of you all, I'm sure. They agree with certain things in the Republican Party and certain things in the Democratic Party and certain things in socialism, like Scandinavian socialism, European socialism. So anyway, I've never gone live before, so hi. I can't really see the comments. I'm gonna look. Let's see if there's any. I saw some comments come in. If you have anything to say, any concerns or anything that you want to add, I can answer you. Trying to see here. Do you all see any messages? Well, this is definitely not what I've been wanting to focus on. I have been talking to different spirits, wanting to do my mediumship, and the next person I want to talk to is Janis Joplin. I've been talking to her since the summer, and she has a lot to say, guys. So if I don't see any comments, I may just go live chat. Oh, wait. Oh, hi. Okay, we have rebounding from narcissistic abuse. Oh, it just disappeared. Hi, Kimberly. Oh, goodness. Thank you. Kimberly, do you have any questions? Oh, I look so tired, guys. I was just getting ready for bed, just putting my pajamas on, and Spirit said, "Oh, you have to talk about this in case anyone's in New York and they're going to be going to the funerals. Well, not the funerals, but Officer Maya's funeral is tomorrow. And I wanted to go. It's pretty close, and Spirit said, no, don't go. It's just not going to be safe. So I just wanted to let you all know, there's just, the energy is really crazy this week, lots of drama, and everything is going to be coming to a head between law enforcement, gangs, and also politicians. So, like I said before, the police are, from what Spirit said, they're planning on cutting off routes if there's crimes and working together. And so that would be basically like a stop and frisk, which they've stopped, like the politicians have stopped the police from doing that, but they're going to be doing it anywhere. Hi, Tanya. I like your little flower with your name, and it's pink. I'm wearing pink tonight. My eyes look pink. I'm so tired. So the police are going to be doing this, like, I guess that would be, it wouldn't be exactly like a stop and frisk. It's going to be almost like a checkpoint, like they have on New Year's Eve, but they're just, when the crimes start popping up, which has been daily in New York, they're going to do that just at the exit points. And Spirit saying that there might be a huge issue between gangs, politicians, and police, law enforcement. And the military might get involved, like I said before, but one of my biggest fears this week is explosions, and especially tomorrow. Oh yeah, Tanya, you look at me, look at my eyes. I'm exhausted too. I can't sleep. Last night I couldn't sleep, but I also couldn't concentrate enough to, I've been wanting to do a psychic read of Janis Joplin. She's been with me since the summer, but it's like I can't focus. Do you guys understand that sort of energy where it's like that Phil Collins song, like, can you feel it coming in the air? It's like, and I just want to go to sleep so that I to not deal with it. But if you're intuitive, it's pretty hard. And it's guys, this is crazy because as intuitives or healers, spiritual community, I saw an expert in the narcissism community was just on here, rebounding from narcissism. And, we all care about all of the, everything that has been affecting people, the racism, classism, all that stuff. But we also don't want to see violence and don't condone violence. And, we don't want our law enforcement and military to suffer, especially these young kids, these two kids that were just ambushed in New York and taken out, 22 and 27 years old. Like, they're from the Dominican Republic. They have nothing to do with the oppression of, gang members. So it's crazy, guys. And the substances, H and F, substances that start with H and especially F are making people nuts. There's no excuse for the craziness that's coming from that. But just to talk about it does feel a little Fox Newsy, and it feels insensitive to bigger issues. But you know, it's complicated, and as healers, we need to get into the nitty gritty and protect the innocent. Like, that's what I'm figuring out with my readings, is many celebrities are coming forward, celebrities that have passed, and they just want to talk about, and it's to help people. They want to talk about the injustices that were done to them. And the reason that they do it is to raise awareness, and so that it doesn't happen to other people, especially sensitive people, empathetic people, people on the spiritual path. But also, guys, Spirit's teaching me so much about galactic influences. So I'll be coming on and talking about that in detail. And Spirit's like, you just have to do it, because they've told me so much. It's going to be hard to like, where do I start? But I think I'm going to start with reptilians and just tell you all about what Spirit has told me. Okay, if you watch the news, you'll be in a negative world. Stop. Send them love. Okay. Yeah. That I personally need to watch the news. There's a lot going on in the city right now. I need to watch it objectively and, not obsessively, but, this is what Spirit wants me to do right now. They want me to talk about the crime, and they've been wanting me to warn people. And it's very hard, because they started really hounding me in 2020 about these crimes, and I've tried to put it out there, and then it's just really hard to see people, especially young people. A lot of people that are being targeted in the city, it's like late at night, they're out partying, and they're just, coming home from dates or having a good time, and they're getting ambushed. And it's really hard for me to see that after Spirit showed me. And you can see throughout the country, like, just families and mothers, a lot of women are being targeted, and older people, driving home from the supermarket or driving home from going out, they're being followed. And it's really hard for Spirit to tell me this and then to actually see it happen, because I'm like, oh no. I wish I could prevent it. But anyway, I feel like I'm starting to repeat myself. So I'm going to look through the comments here and see. I don't know. I don't even watch the news. Okay. Yeah, I understand that. Do you guys have any other questions for me while I'm really tired and awake? I think this would be a good way to talk about stuff. Maybe I should start. Oh, what about the reptiles? Okay, reptilians, yeah. So a lot of what we've heard about reptilians, a lot is true, but a lot is also exaggerated. So what Spirit has told me is that about 50% of the population are reptilian. So what does that mean? Spirit told me that when the earth was created, not Earth itself, the structure, but when it was decided how to, like the people. Ask something zombies right now. I understand that. Um, I'm just reading the chat. So when they created people, they, God, Spirit, utilized Pleiadians, reptilians, Arcturians, and tall whites to create people of the earth. So those are the planetary influences. And each person had their, each group had their influence and what they were supposed to do. But what Spirit has said is that all the influences are completely mixed up. So, like, the tall whites are our intellectuals. They are our scientists for the most part, our doctors, our Einsteins. And then Pleiadians are the intuitives, the entertainers, the psychologists. And so these are just types. But guys, reptilians are very important. These are our workers, the people who get things done. But they're supposed to get like work, I don't want to say under, but work for the ideas of that come from the tall whites and the Pleiadians, if that makes sense. So the tall whites would help with the intellectual ideas. The Pleiadians would make sure it's good for humanity. And then the reptilians are the ones who can actually put it, like do the work. The reptilians could do the work. And Arcturians are our really talented, like artists and musicians, all the writings of the music, and they're very heart-centered too. So, guys, everything's been flipped upside down. Right now, it's almost 100% reptilians in charge, and that's not how. If that continues, we will destroy humanity, because reptilians are not supposed to be at the top of the pyramid. They're very strong, and the reptilians are very good at working in groups. And so think of it like an office. The CEO should be a tall white. What is it called? Human resources should be Pleiadian. And then, all the heart-centered festivities should be run by Arcturians. And then all of the work should be done by reptilians, and they should be rewarded. And, Spirit and Jesus has really told me that the reptilians are tired. Many of us have had, lifetimes we're talking about, since the beginning of time. And the reptilians got tired and wanted to be in charge. But unfortunately, they can't fully be in charge. They can be in charge if they work for the highest good. And that's a huge challenge for reptilians, but that requires like good social structures to be in place. So when you have that, reptilians can make wonderful like police officers and military personnel, and they can actually be very good people. but under the wrong leadership, it will bring out the worst, and reptilians will fight for themselves. And this is where we could just have, really ugly stuff happening. And so that's why Spirit has been talking so strongly to so many intuitives. And for a long time, they've just given people who are on the spiritual path, just like they've been slowly giving them the information to take care of themselves. And but now they're really asking for more. They want the right, in order for the human race to survive, they want the right people in charge, or we need the right people in charge, or we're just going to, it's very easy to fight and just extinguish ourselves with everybody fighting all the time for everything. We're not going to last. So that needs to change. But unfortunately, there a lot of Pleiadians, especially Pleiadians really, really, really get attacked by reptilians. But, I will get more into that. And I don't know if you all have any questions. Let's see. What about reptiles? I started talking about that. Any more questions about reptilians? I'm going to do a whole video on that. Who knows how long I've been talking? Oh, I can see the time. But do you guys have any questions, or are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Are you guys feeling maybe me explaining what Spirit is telling me is maybe helping you all with what you're feeling? Anyone here feeling sort of anxious right now? Restless? Well, it's pretty late, so anyone watching this might, well, it depends on where you live, but if I don't have any more questions, all right, guys, I think I'm gonna go. Unless you have any questions. It could be, I don't know, anything about, yeah, you have a question, Tanya? Anything about the energy right now? If you were right in the New Year's prediction, yeah. There's been lots of fires. Yep. And some of those fires are being set, guys. We've always had these dry conditions. There's just, it's too many. It's vandalism. And so it's interesting because it goes along with this idea that Spirit talks to me about partial truths. So, yes, the West is dry. Yes, we're having environmental issues, but let's go back to the reptilian energy. This is the thing, guys. So I told you that these are planetary influences. So someone who is a reptilian here they receive assistance from the reptilian spirit. So just as like in people who are on the spiritual path, you know, astrologers, mediums, helpers, healers, we are receiving guidance from the tall whites, the Pleiadians, and the Arcturians. So the reptilians are receiving intuition and guidance from other reptilians. So you're asking me where would be a great place to live in the future? Well, Earth. And when we're alive, we come here to help the Earth, to help Mother Earth. We come here to learn lessons and to create things. We have experiences that you can't have on the other side. If we burn Earth out, you know, we will go on to our perspective places, but we won't burn Earth out. Earth will get rid of us and survive. But if we burn each other out, it's probably all going to start again. But Spirit has told me if it does come to that, we will be separated. And a lot of scripture and it's so hard to put into words, guys, but some of the things that have been passed down through religion and scripture is true, meaning like they say there's a rapture. What would happen is if we extinguished ourselves, we would all go separate, and reptilians would go to one place, and Spirit has told me they would burn that place out too. But that's way down the road. We have the opportunity to change. We have the opportunity to make things better here and to heal Mother Earth. And I will channel Mother Earth in another video. It's so interesting. Mother Earth is the energy of Mother Mary, and I will channel her. It's one and the same energy. But I hope that answers your question about where to go. For humans, we've been given Earth. And as of now, there is not another planet created for us. So this is what we're working with. But on the other side, it's flipped. On the other side, everybody, even reptilians, want to, they want to be healers. And it's very complicated, but I'll get into that another time. Any other questions out there? Let me see. I'd like to, ooh, Tanya has a question. Let's see here. I'd like to get to know some of the good reps, and like they're trying to help, but what are they trying to achieve right now? What are the reptilians trying to achieve right now? Well, they want to be in charge. They want to be in charge, and they're trying to prove that they have the power to be in charge. And they're trying to get people on their team. So and it's spiritual warfare. So the Arcturians, Pleiadians, and tall whites are trying to get reptilians on our team, and same thing with reptilians. So, oh, what do you mean the good ones? Like the good reptilians? What? I'm trying to understand the question. Like just a general reptilian. So what are they trying to achieve? Reptilians in their natural, like when they're born, reptilians are very group oriented, and they need structure, and they need a lot of love from people around them. They need family support. They thrive in close-knit, good families, good communities. They really need to be cared for, and they need to work. Like reptilians like to work, and they want to be compensated for what they do, and they want to be appreciated for their work. And a lot of reptilians are meant to just be like a cog in the wheel, to be working in the system. So think of your office workers, your construction workers, things like that. But they want to be respected for that. And they want to feel protected. And they like competition too. Not this competition that we have now that's like, we're almost extinguishing ourselves. That's not healthy at the core. Nobody wants that. But they like think of organized sports and prom king, all that stuff. Like all that stuff is really, really good for reptilians. That competition in sports and games, and being rewarded at the office. And a lot of that has disappeared. Like there's just a lot of confusion out there, and reptilians need structure. But if the competition is coming in form of like power, and it's getting like life-threatening, reptilians will snap to it, and they have a very strong, they're very self-oriented, and they will fight for themselves and their clan. So reptilians are the ones, Spirit has said about 10%, I think, of reptilians are narcissists. So reptilians are much more prone to be narcissist, and to be the malignant narcissist, and criminals, because they have that survival instinct. But there is like a caveat, guys. If a reptilian gets tired of being a cog in the wheel, and they want more, if they make personal sacrifices in their life, and they go against just taking care of themselves and their family, and they do something, I guess altruistic, something saintly. They make a sacrifice, like Officer Maya did, where Spirit has told me Officer Rivera is Pleiadian, but Officer Maya, they said he's reptilian. Um, he sacrificed himself in that ambush, and then he gave like 5 organs away. So something like that. Now, what Spirit has told me is if a reptilian does that, they can come back as an earth angel. Because reptilians are the closest to the earth, and they were made of the earth. So they're always going to be earthly, and that's not a bad thing. So if they do make enough personal sacrifices, in their next lifetime, they will be an earth angel. So, and there are a lot of people who are mixtures of lots of different things. And even people who are galactic, if you have trauma, the reptilian energy can have an influence over you. And also certain substances are connected to a reptilian energy. But there is a spiritual warfare going on. So anything that you can do that's positive and that's really going to help you and protect you. Any more questions? Let me look here. Oh, hi, Rhonda. Yeah, Kimberly, you're right. You said, yeah, oops, it's weird. The messages like disappear. I'll have to learn how to do that. Yeah, they're coming together to fight a cause. Yeah. Yeah. And, yeah, that's why like people, like me and other, I sound so tired, but yeah, I never thought I would be doing this work, like coming on and talking about this stuff. And I never thought I would be following like crime and stuff like that. How are you doing, Rhonda? Oh, how are things going, Rhonda? Things are pretty intense right now. You can rewatch this video. Things are kind of coming to a head with, things that in the United States are going on right now with crime, and you can hear the sirens. Spirit gave me a warning about tomorrow that one of the officers who was killed in an ambush, his funeral's tomorrow, and Spirit just wanted me to come on and sort of warn people that something, there could be some sabotage there. And they showed me some like fire and explosions. So I hope that doesn't happen. Most of what they've told me has happened. Some of it's been lesser than what they've said, and some of it's been stronger. So that's what's going on, Rhonda. How are you doing? How's everyone doing tonight? You did, Rhonda? You knew I was coming on? This is my first time going live. That's amazing that you sensed that. You can see from my face, I'm not camera ready. I'm very tired. I didn't sleep well last night. Just the energy's been really off and frankly, just a little bit scary. You astro traveled. Oh, that's awesome. I've done that before. And yes, that's a great thing to do, is to pray for everyone. Yeah. Rhonda, you're right. It's spiritual warfare. Oh my God, thank you. I don't feel like I look great. I appreciate that. I feel very tired, and you could see how tired my eyes look. You were born with that ability. I would guess, Rhonda, that you have the Pleiadian influence. Pleiadians. Oh, it's nice to meet you too, Kimberly. Um, but Pleiadians astro travel. I've astro traveled my whole life. Are things going to improve in the US? What I've been told is that things are going to get worse before they get better. But I've been told that things are definitely going to be improving by the end of 2022. Yeah, keep smiling and laughing. Positivity does always win. That is true. But things are going to be getting better as we're coming out of 2022. Fortunately, for many people who are spiritually aware, who've been doing this work and having this understanding for a long time, are going to be doing much better, especially as, we're leaving 2022. Because, guys, I know it's pretty grim right now, but we've been thinking about this stuff and working on this for a long time. So the spiritual people are ready. What's happening now is that the other groups aren't ready. I know it is hard to keep the faith, but really that's all that you can do, because people on the spiritual path, they can't enjoy themselves not keeping the faith. They can't, it's like you can't live that way. It's just not what you were meant to do. Will COVID spike again in the coming years? Is it like the norm? Okay. So what Spirit told me is that Omicron was the strongest variant of COVID. So we will be getting more variants, but they're going to weaken. So we're not going to have to worry so much about COVID after this summer. You know, as far as the rest of 2022, in the fall, we might get a little bit of a surge back, but it will be a weakened strain, and the people that would have to worry would be more of the, the elderly or the unvaccinated. I wouldn't worry too much about COVID from this point on, guys. If if you're not vaccinated and you have a compromised immune system, the variant is still pretty strong, but like I said, it will be weakening from this point on. Okay, messages since the spring that the military, yes, I've been getting the same messages. The military is they are just waiting right now. But the problem is, how will the hospitals react when the surge comes back? The worst of it is over. The hospitals are prepared. The military has been deployed at the hospitals that need the military, so that's going to be fine. COVID should not be a concern for everyone right now. We're on the other side of it, guys. But Rhonda, as far as the military, I think the military is going to get involved in crime. Now, it, they could be telling people that the military's being involved in other things, like make it seem like it's COVID and COVID rules and things like that. But it's for crime. We had 2 military helicopters fly right now. Yeah, oh yeah, that's going to be really common. They've been flying overhead in Manhattan pretty much 24/7 since 2020, and they fly low. And we have submarines in New York. Are negative spirits running rampant right now? Yes. Yes, negative spirits are running rampant right now. So be careful of what you hear and stuff like that in your moods. Definitely. It feels like people are acting, yes, people are acting in, they really are acting in unusual ways. It's not your imagination. It's a tipping point with everything that's gone on since 2020, and especially all of the substance use and just structures. Like I said, reptilians need social order, they need structure, they need work, they need, yes, always keep yourself protected. So that's what's making people crazy. And what's really hard to understand is people who are on the spiritual path, they don't need the same kind of structure that reptilians need. We don't need the 9-to-5 job and the trophies and the I'm making it sound negative. It's not all negative, but we don't need the same like schedule and same structures. So for people on the spiritual path, it can just seem like why are people freaking out? Well, their sense of safety has been threatened. That's why. And they feel like they're being attacked. And what it is that a lot of the things that work really well for them, like seriously, like getting up and going, commuting and doing all that, reptilians really need that busyness. And I'm Pleiadian, tall white, and Arcturian. Like I don't need that busyness. I don't need that sort of busyness in my life. But I don't know if I'm making any sense. But yes, keep yourself protected, because when people are in a negative mindset, like they really are on the attack. They really are attacking others. And they're attacking people who they think seem weak. It's just like, narcissism, bullies, back in high school. It's like, they're going to attack someone who's seems serene, because if they're feeling threatened and they see someone who seems like happy, to them that person looks weak, if that makes any sense. Yeah, even with family members. Yeah, you don't, you might know, you gather who's reptilian and stuff like that, but yeah, it's not a good time for reptilians. I'll just say, now that we're talking about it, it's not a good time for people who basically aren't on the spiritual path. They're really struggling. As a spiritual person, the best thing that you can do is limit your time with people. Pray, like you said, you've astral traveled and prayed. You can do that. You can try to help. But as soon as you feel like, you're being attacked, you have to pull your energy back. What's this? I just got a question. Let me look here. Live chat. Why are negative spirits such an issue right now? It's for power. There's a power struggle and a spiritual war. So, it's like the heat is on. The heat is on. Like the heat's on, guys. Like, and so everyone is being negatively influenced constantly. So I don't know if you guys can feel it, but anything that you struggle with is going to be if it's like eating too much sugar or procrastination or whatever it is, people are going to be finding themselves being challenged with that. I know a lot of people on the spiritual path, their challenge. Oh, it seems like they're easier to perceive. Like they have a good intuition towards you. I always try to be the light though, even though it's sad. Yeah. So I think one of the comments is like, do you feel like darker people are trying to feed off of you? Is that what you're saying? And they're perceiving you? Is that what you mean? Oh, the veil. Yes, because everything's being ramped up. So the reptilian energy is trying to gain power over the earth. So all of that negativity, how would they gain power? So, it's to get reptilians to do darker things, and it's to get people who are of the light to do darker things. So yeah, so anytime someone who is of the light does something dark, like does like a reptilian thing, someone is not fully in control. Oh, yes. I understand what you're saying. Yes, you're totally right. So if you have a reptilian or a narcissist or a toxic person or someone who's struggling themselves, yes, the reptilian energy can come through them 100%. Yes. Guys, if I could just tell you the experiences that I've had just walking down the street. Like I've literally had like, scary people just look at me, and it's like they know. And you got to be very careful. It's not your imagination. This is why I'm coming on. Spirit really wants you all to protect yourselves. Cleanse. Do everything that you, all of it. I sage my apartment. I cleanse. I pray. Find out the best way for you to talk to Spirit and ask them, figure out right now, where is it safe for you to be? It seems more common. Yeah. And because you're right with what you said about the veil being thin. And what do you guys do to protect yourselves? How are you guys protecting yourselves? the veil is very thin. I feel like spirits guiding me as like where to go, and a simple, okay. Yeah, the dragon is an advisor. Many people. It's actually in my angel cards. I have an angel card of a woman sitting with a dragon. So the dragon is acts as an advisor. That's very common that you would have feel like or see or perceive like a dragon spirit helping you, and that's a galactic spirit. It's actually galactic and angelic. So that's awesome that you have that to protect you. Let's look at the messages. And do you guys find yourself perceiving darkness around you quickly? It's a little bit scary, but can you feel the energy? Like, say you're in a store, a spirit would really like you to take those feelings seriously. Like if if you just feel someone behind you, just like a car, pull over, let them go. Let's see, you've always kept yourself protected in a bubble. Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's awesome. But if you're driving and you get a bad feeling, say they're showing me like pumping gas. If it doesn't matter, guys, if you just see someone coming down the road and you just get a bad vibe, like just finish what you're doing and trust your instincts. Yeah, trust your spidey sense, Tanya. This is no joke now. Yeah, that's awesome. Kimberly, it's definitely I'm picturing that sort of dragon's breath. Isn't that like a thing, like a flower, the dragon's breath? Yeah. Always trust your intuition. It's really hard though, like if you spend time by yourself, it's easy. You'll feel something or you'll sense something, or spirits like, you got to go now. Or drive, go off the road. I don't drive, but like, people who drive, but I'll be walking down the sidewalk and, spirit will tell me to like, pull over to the side or go in a store or avoid this person. And you can do it. It's hard though if you're with someone else. Yeah, is that a thing, guys? Dragon's breath? Is that like a flower or something like that? Yeah. Any trust all of those everything that you're perceiving. Rhonda, it's so awesome that you astral travel. I struggle with that now. Spirit has told me that I have to work on, I had some illnesses, so I have to work on my immune system because your body has to be strong for you to come back into it. Yeah, your spirit guides never lie. That's so true. Sometimes my spirit guides have warned me of the intentions of of others that haven't happened. Like the what they intended to do hasn't happened, but that's okay. It's just the intention. So let's see, what did Rhonda say? I was born with that ability. Yeah, I was too. I didn't know. I thought everyone flew around the earth while they were sleeping. Like, I thought everybody did that. I just thought it was, yeah, common. Let me look at the messages. Yeah. Okay, you can do that not just here, but also in heaven. Yeah, me too. Which is, you know, when you have that ability, it's easy. Yeah, me either. I don't get tired of it either. It's when you have that ability though, it's easier to do things of the light, positive things, because that's what we're geared towards. So try to, how do I put this? Try to understand that many people don't have that ability and they're in survival mode. It's a very common reptilian way of life, way of being. So, oh yeah, you thought people saw angels. I did too. And loved ones who passed away, yeah. Yeah, you do have a special gift. And no, not everyone has that connection. So, you know, that's what makes many people fear-based, is that they don't feel that like they're supported or connected to anything bigger than themselves. So that's what puts them into survival mode. And it also, when you have that ability and you experience the light, yeah, some people are brainwashed. But when you have that ability and that lightness, you have to understand that, yeah, they will take longer to see the truth and light. And also, it's like a beacon. It's, think of yourself as, you know, like there's darkness and you're like a lighthouse. So, or a better metaphor would be like think of a light and then all the mosquitoes. It's hard, guys, because darkness is attracted to the light, but in the world that we're in now, people want, not all the time, but people can want your, you know, think of toxic people, narcissists, energy vampires. They can want your energy and need it, but not give anything back. So that's where the danger comes in, you know. That's where you need to protect yourself. And right now in particular is just a really chaotic time. With all like structures dismantling. It's just so, I can't believe how quickly, you know, some things have devolved, we should say. But it's going to turn around. Spirit's just asking everyone to be really strong And like it was said in the comments, it is hard to keep the faith, but really we need to. There isn't really, any other choice. And people on the spiritual path would not be happy not keeping the faith. Not that you can't have your down moments. Everyone has that, but we're just not meant for that. So, are things going to settle down? Yes, definitely. I think a lot of big things are going to happen. Definitely in politics. I've been shown some pretty big things. Some threats to people in charge right now. So that is pretty scary, but they're saying that things should be getting better by the summer and definitely by the end of 2022. And they're saying that, people who are on the spiritual path are definitely going to do better. You may feel for everything that's going on, but Spirit's saying that most of us should know how to sort of weather this storm. His face went pure white I don't understand that. Whose face when they saw what angel? Rhonda. Oh, you had an angel come to you. Yes. Okay. Yes, and this is where the veil is thinning, guys. Many of you might see in your real life, like have these experiences where, you're seeing spirit in people. Yeah. That was a message, Rhonda, because you were doing a good deed. And also the fact that you've been astral traveling and stuff. It's like you and many spiritual people are really strongly connecting to galactic beings and angels, Jesus, spirit, what have you. If whatever is your entity, dragon, it's like it's getting really strong right now. It can be a little overwhelming. Do any of you feel that? Anything in investment side? Oh, like the stock market? What Spirit has told me for 2022 is just to oh, you've seen angels when you're sad. Yeah, that's that's when I saw my first angel. So you can ask them to try to come when you're feeling better. Please be careful with the stock market. Yeah, you see something happening. Spirits told me the stock market's not going to do very well this year, but there shouldn't be a total crash. So they told me not to, to leave what I have, in my my retirement account. They told me to leave what I have there. It's not going to be good, but it's not going to fully crash. But that's what they've said. Speaking of Jesus, a lot of people. Oh, right. Yes. Well, that's because so when Jesus was trying to spread his messages, he was trying to sort of be like a guide. He was trying to spread the message of peace. And the things that he was talking about at the time were to help people have more peace in their lives, and it was like a guidebook. It was never meant to be like what it is. It's like a disciplinarian, like you have to do this, like commandments. So he originally was just writing like a guide, like, well, not writing, he was talking about, he was getting, Jesus was a medium, and he was getting downloads from Spirit. And Spirit was just telling him to tell the Jewish people at the time, like, certain things to do. Right. It's changed, it's been changed so many times. Oh yeah. Sorry, Spirit just gave me a message. Just really, they're showing me like people really just running up to people and like slashing them. I hate to be graphic, guys. Just shooting them for no reason. Just be forewarned of that. So okay, let me go back to Jesus. So he was just trying to give people the messages he was given as like how to do things to give themselves more peace in their life, and less, fighting, and less ill health. So that's where we have like the dietary things that come in, like don't eat dairy with, let me give you an example, like don't eat dairy with meat. The reason he said that was not a commandment. It was just that Spirit told him that because the Jewish people at the time, everyone knows how delicious meat and cheese is. They were eating too much meat and cheese and not enough fish. So Spirit said, tell them that they can only have dairy with fish. So the reason for that was so that they would eat more fish. But anyway, things got very misconstrued. Obviously the disciples most of them were executed, and so they became martyrs and religious figures. So people took their words, and it's like that game, phone, what is that called? Where, one person says something and then after it's been told to 10 people. But let's see, okay, I'm not a Christian, yeah. Why are people doing, sorry, let me look at this here. Why are people doing those things, slashing people for no reason? Yes, they feel that there's this original idea of that there was injustice brought upon their group. So it's like a retribution type thing. And so, they don't have the power to get retribution in the way they think they should get it. So just going out and just stabbing someone. And then there's also substances that are making people do that. And substances like H and F, the big H that people are doing again, and then the F, like that's immediately, guys, connecting people to negative spirits. So, it connects people to positive spirits too. Like Jesus will talk to people when they're under substances, but the negative spirits come in, and when you do substances, you're giving license over to negative spirits. So even after the substances leave your system, the negative spirits will be there to give you negative advice. And sometimes it is against someone of the light. So think about if we're in spiritual warfare and you have someone who's connecting to negative spirits, either through substances or through wanting to connect to negative spirits or being weak. Now, those negative spirits are going to tell them, like, to do bad things and attack people. So who are they going to attack? Well, the negative spirit might say, hey, go attack, that person who's like a light worker. That would be the ideal person. So let's see. That's why, we're seeing many good people get attacked. Let's see. Let me see. Underground tunnels. Trafficking. So trafficking is at the forefront. It is a highlight right now in spiritual warfare. And that's a whole rabbit hole. But when reptilians are the ones who are engaging in that behavior, and they get energy from that. It's not just the physical act. They are actually like vampires. You'll see the groups that are targeted for trafficking. Spirit's really been showing me like Guatemala, Central America. Those groups are highly, highly charged of Pleiadian and Arcturian energy. And so when a reptilian is engaging in that act, it's not just physical guys. They are basically like soul sucking the innocence, and the innocent light. It's like they are buying light. If that makes, please, I don't know if that makes any sense to anyone. Yeah. Some of those kids have, yep. It's, they're born into it. It's spirit has made me aware of that. It's been really, really hard for me to deal with, to accept that. And that's one of the reasons why the us light workers here are here. That's one of the big issues to tackle. And that's why all of this galactic business is you'll see other spiritual people talking about this. It's because that's what we're getting down to. The nitty gritty is like what's happening, and it's about it's about a lot, but like, yeah, people are gonna learn the truth. Yeah. It's really, really sick, guys. And it's not just, people are focused on the physical act. Like, why would someone, want to do that to children? Well, there's a couple reasons. There's the substances that people can get from children, but there's also, it's the energy. Reptilians don't have a lot of energy. That's why they, like I said, they thrive on the schedules and the reward system, and also achievements in life, milestones. That gives them energy, but they don't have the same energy and connection to energy that Pleiadians, Arcturians, tall whites have, people of the light. And they want that, guys. They're very jealous of that. They want that. And oftentimes they think if they, have relations with light workers or light people of the light, which many Central American people are, that they can somehow get it for themselves. Yeah. The good guys in the white hats. Yeah. I've been told that my guides call them the tall whites. Yeah. And people who are doing this work are being attacked. I've been approached by the men in black. It's been scary. It's been really scary. And that's why like light workers sometimes don't want to do. Yeah. At J Fasco, yes. They are absorbing the light when they have relations with people of the light, galactic people, spiritual people. They do absorb the light. It's very fleeting, and it makes them more angry because they can't hold on to it. They also get energy from abusing people. Like, so say, someone toxic insults you and you cry or you yell or you fight back. Like, they get that energy. It's very fleeting. Oh, what happened when the men in back? Okay, so this was before I really started doing a lot of spiritual work. This was in 2011. They actually drove by me in one of those old-timey cars, and they had machine guns pointing at me. And I didn't know what was going on. I actually thought that it was like people going to a movie set and they were practicing. And but then when I looked at the seriousness of their faces, it's like I knew that it was ominous. I knew it was bad. I couldn't really, thank God I didn't put it all together in that moment. I was frightened. But I figured it out later as I got into spirituality. And it also figured out a lot about where it was. It was on 57th Street, which is Millionaires Row, which has a lot of power on that street. There's a lot going on that street. That's where that one center is. Oh my gosh, I don't think it's called One Center. It's that Soros guy, right where I saw the Men in Black was where that center is. That guy pays for. It's also where the Hearst building is. Let's see, when you start to feel your energy low, saltwater bath. Okay, yeah. It's interesting. I'm in a place right now where I don't have a bathtub. I have a stand-up shower. But I've been today I used a salt scrub. I really need that. You're right. I need a lot of salt. And I actually need to have things with a lot of salt in it, like pickles and things like that, and seafood. Well, it's getting late, guys. This is getting really long. I don't even know if anyone will watch this after. Any more quick questions before I go? Wow. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. This is my first time doing this, so thank you so much for joining me and like giving me advice and participating. It's awesome. It's good to like talk to you guys. But I'm gonna go to bed, and hopefully tomorrow, any final messages from Spirit? Just stay strong, expect the unexpected, follow your intuition when you see or hear something happen. Whatever that first thought is, honor that thought, because, oh, good, you're welcome. Oh, thank you. But honor those those thoughts, guys. Really honor your intuition. That's the best thing that you can do. And then the more you do that, the more spirit will talk to you. And it should get really interesting. All right, I will come on soon. I'm going to come on soon and talk to Janice Joplin. She's an amazing spirit. She has a lot to tell us. So I will do that soon. All right, good night, you guys.